Hello and welcome. We live in a very scary world. So how do you cope with it? Well, I'm here today to help you with 5 easy steps. Fear is a natural response to different situations that have evolved over a long period of time. Under normal circumstances, fear usually triggers the fight or flight response that allows us to respond quickly to threats, thus increasing our chances of survival. However, that fear can easily turn into an irrational fear or a phobia, and it creates a lot of stress which interferes with our lives. So as a result, it's important to find ways that you can conquer that fear. Here are those 5 steps. Step number 1. Firstly, you should ask yourself what part of the fear is irrational and what part is rational. If the fear is rational, then what can you do to reduce that fear? If the fear is irrational, you may need to take another perspective of the situation that can offer you better support. Step number 2, the worst and the best. Most of the time, we don't even consider what's the worst that can happen. We assume that the worst is something which is inconceivable because we're only paying attention to all our feelings. So ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? We can look at the worst possible thing that can happen, and we usually realize that it's not so bad after all, because 80% of your fears do not come forth. Only 20% do. You should then focus on the best thing that can happen and get a clear on the benefits of how this will impact positively on your life. When you have a clear view on the best and the worst, then you can start feeling more motivated so you can keep pushing forward, since the best way is always going to be a million times better than the worst. Step number 3 is challenge your thoughts. Most of the times you'll probably accept your thoughts, which bombard us every day, and believe they are the truth. But then if you choose to act on them, that's when you have to consider it. These thoughts usually come from the beliefs that you have about the world that were formed from your family, friends, and other influences in your life. You've developed several beliefs that support you as well as those that do not support you. If you do not challenge your thoughts and accept them instead of as the truth, then you're setting yourself up for self-sabotage. You should ask yourself, is this a belief or a fact? If it's a belief, then challenge it in case it is not supporting you. Step number 4, using images. This is a very powerful tool that completely is underutilized. Your mind normally responds better to images, and you may not be tapping into all of this. When you do not have an idea on how a certain thing will play out or work out, then you can imagine all types of scenarios. Unfortunately, most of them will be negative. Find a very quiet place and then try to do this for 5 minutes. In your mind's eye, you should imagine the outcome which you would love, and then see it in its bright colors. Listen to the words that you want to listen to and feel whatever you would like to feel. If you can make these images alive and then see the outcome then you really want, then your mind will be starting to calm down immediately. Number 5, talk about it. You should talk about it because most people around you share the similar fears, and there's a wealth of advice that you could use from other people. Don't suffer alone. When you decide to talk about your fears that you have, you will release the negative energy, and thus you will start to feel better. And do not give in to something which you cannot control. It's better to face all of your fears now and then enjoy the rewards later, and then to start giving your dreams what they deserve. I hope this information helps you, and if not, you can contact me at my website below. And thanks for stopping by.